Listing my top 20 favorite WWE wrestlers of all time. Now this is actually a follow-up. A question in the Q&A yesterday when someone asked who my favorite wrestler was. Um, so yeah, you probably if you've watched that, you already know who my favorite is already. But I thought I'd go through my top 20 just to kind of elaborate a wee bit. Now this is gonna piss a lot of people off. Listen, I was born in '99. Okay. So any older fans, if you're watching, like there's gonna be no Stone Cold, there's gonna be no The Rock. I'm very sorry. I'm just gonna go off by like when I say all time, I mean my time, and I've been watching. So any New Year fans too, they'll probably be pissed off too, to where I have some of the New Year people ranked. Listen, as top 20, but see, to be honest with you, it's kind of like in no particular order apart from maybe the top five. But I tried my best to put it into some kind of order just to make it easier for the video. But yeah, please don't hit me. As I say, it's my opinion. If you think it's wrong, that's absolutely fine. Just let me know. I know I said no particular order, but let's just start off at number 20, Drew McIntyre. And this is just completely deliberate. This is because I know I have a lot of Scottish people watching. A lot of my good mates in Scotland, so this is mainly just to wind you up. Bottom of the barrel, we are Drew McIntyre. No, jokes aside, he's sensational. He's excellent. But in my day, when I started watching, this is a man that was in a three-man band. He was going nowhere. But yeah, so the way he's turned his career around has been excellent. He's probably the best heel in the company at the minute, arguably. And yeah, some of the stuff he does, even on Twitter and that, little things like that, is so funny as well. And he's just a big beefy bastard. He's excellent. But yeah, so this time he was screwed. This was deliberate. Yeah. 20 is Drew McIntyre. From Ayr actually, where I know I was saying it when I lived in Scotland. That's exactly where I lived was Ayr. So yeah, I'm kind of pissing off a few people that I know from there as well by doing this. 19 have gone Sheamus. So I just had to put an Irishman above the Scottish person there. That's literally the only reason I did that. But yeah, Sheamus. He's just a lovable big dude, and he's just sheep white ginger as fuck. And as the story goes, banger after banger after banger. It was much higher in the card when I would have been watching when I was younger. Like he was one of the biggest names in the company at the time. Now as I say, he's just a veteran. He's won it all, apart from that the Intercontinental Championship, obviously. We want to see him complete that Grand Slam, but yeah, fucking love Sheamus. What's not to like about him? He's just a fucking legend. 18. Can we talk about it? Can we just admit how good this man is? Can we just talk about how brilliant The Miz is? The Miz is. That's a weird way of putting it, but yeah. Listen, he's so good. I know he got a while out of stick, especially like in his early days there, like he didn't belong there, whatever he didn't. But man, he's so good. Whether that's on the mic, whether it's fucking even just wrestling. You can argue he plays it a bit safe at times, but I would say he's a very good wrestler to be honest with you. But yeah, every role that he's in, even like when he's a babyface, like even like that stuff we are truth, like he's really funny. But yeah, as I say, I'm basing a lot of these people like based on how they make me feel as opposed to as well like their technical ability as well. And yeah, the Miz is just so entertaining, and we need to like just acknowledge that. And obviously, we could count the many promos that he's done as excellent. The most famous one on that SmackDown thing, Daniel Bryan, uh, where he basically just kind of I think went off script and just laid out on him. Oh, beautiful. The man's fucking brilliant. We have to give it to him. 17, I've gone Dolph Ziggler. Now Nick Nemeth in TNA, bruh, like, he is probably the greatest seller of moves that I've ever seen. Like he could make a simple slap in the face look like he got shot. The way he goes flying, it genuinely blows my mind. Like he's so good. For me, like it breaks my heart they never like pulled the trigger on him and like shot him to the moon because he was so good. And I remember that performance in the Survivor Series match when it was him on against like another three. And yeah, just that hero's performance. And then obviously his Money in the Bank cash in, which obviously we knew was kind of cut short afterwards. But yeah, that cash in has got one of the loudest pops of most Money in the Bank cash ins. Oh, Dolph Ziggler, man, it's fucking excellent. When he came back for that John Cena farewell tour, see when his music hit, I'm here to show that, bruh, off my feet. It was sensational. I love him. 16, I've gone R-Truth. Um, Probably the funniest person. in WWE history. Probably probably one of the funniest people alive, just in general, man. Every time he's on screen, he just cracks me up. And it's now just dawning on me that I've placed R-Truth higher than Drew McIntyre. That's just I've got jukes as well. But you know, R-Truth, he's been there fucking a long time. He must be about a fucking 102, and he's still just going strong, man. And some of his comedic bits are so good. You think getting the ladder in the Royal Rumble, you think entering the Women's Royal Rumble match, you think when Elimination Chamber was in Australia, this man flew from America to Austria just for the bit. Fucking love R-Truth, man. He's a treasure. Everybody needs to look after. 15, I've gone Finn Balor, and this is where like my jibes on Drew McIntyre have come back to bite me because I really wish I could put this man higher. But when I look at the people ahead of him, I just can't justify it. And it's not even down to like Finn Balor himself, it's just the booking, man. I don't know what the hell they're doing with him. And they clearly saw something in him early days. When I had him become like the first ever Universal Champion and just obviously had to relinquish it due to injury and he's never recovered from that. But man, his moveset when he comes out as the demon, like that, the whole presentation of it just screams superstar. And for whatever reason, he's uh he's not treated like one. I know he's on this program with CM Punk now, but do you actually see him winning? Like after all the heartbreak and the like dangling the carrot, the Finn Balor, like do you think this is it? Like, uh, it's so upsetting, man. Especially like I was at the Raw in Belfast when he fought CM Punk that first time, bro. Oh, like for those like 20 minutes or so, Finn Balor was like my favorite human alive. And I'm a massive CM Punk fan as well, but I was just like, fucking kill him, Finn. And it was electric. I love Finn Balor. I just can't justify putting him above the other names on the list. 14 have gone Daniel Bryan. Now Bryan Danielson in AEW. Probably another one. He should have like obviously his well-being was a big part of it, but I think he could have been there a lot longer too to be lower on the list. But this is as high as I can put him. But I can never forget the run to WrestleMania 30 and his feud with the Authority, and just how over he was with the fans. I've never seen anything like it. Like everybody just going yes, yes. Like he had entire stadiums in the tip of his finger and the palm of his hand, just pure eating. He was sensational. Not only that, like in terms of technical wrestlers, he's one of the best to ever do it. Um, Daniel Bryan, absolutely unbelievable. And he's still showing that now. In AEW, fucking sensational. 13 have gone AJ Styles. Now, hear me out. If you're talking like, technical and ring ability, he's probably the best to have ever done it. But if I'm basing it just on his WWE career, like let's be honest, like he came in hot, and then he'd be a bit lukewarm for a while, and then it'd be hot, and then it'd be cold. Like it was very up and down. Um, I still love him to bits, but I don't know. I still think there was more that could have been done with him. As I say, it was in Belfast, which was also the episode where it was proposed that the match against Gunther would be for his career. So like I was there for a bit of history for that, and there's kind of sadness about it, but also about like wow, that's cool. But yeah, what a career he's had anyway. I think a lot of the names on the list that I have here probably can't hold a candle to what he can do in the ring. But I just think even with his booking as well, it could have been a lot stronger. Just in my humble opinion. 12 have gone Chris Jericho. Man, I so hope the rumours of him coming back are true. I know he's a bit past his prime now, but I still think there's a role they play because he's so entertaining. It's especially as I say, I know he's a bit past his prime, but if I'm talking about this, like in my lifetime when I was watching it, growing up, he was sensational. He was just an evil, evil bastard. I think especially in like 2008 in that feud with Shawn Michaels, man, some of the lengths he would stoop to was fucking borderline just out of order. And then you think a couple of years later against CM Punk, like the best in the world, against the best in the world at what he does, all was just oh, it was cinema. That's another thing too. Like I can appreciate somebody that can like keep reinventing himself and keep like changing with the times. And then Chris Jericho's done that so many times where he keeps reinventing his character. And to excuse the pun, that that he just made the list. Like, I just love Chris Jericho. I think he's so entertaining, and I would love to see him back in WWE personally. number 11 and just missing out in the top 10, heartbreakingly, Rey Mysterio. Probably the greatest underdog they ever do it to. Like, the cunt's about fucking 3 apples tall. And just so cool, man. I mean, just when I was growing up, it was just so cool to watch. Some of the things he was doing, you could swear he could fly. And even now, well into his 50s, I'm watching him and I'm thinking, how the fuck are you not having a heart attack? Like, he's so good. Um, and so entertaining and like so charismatic without ever having to like say that much and like I don't know, just everything about him, his presentation with the mask, like obviously the whole luchador moveset, he's just wonderful. As I say, I'm talking about like how people make me feel about it is to watch I'm a youngster and just think this boy is literally Spider-Man. And yeah, I fucking love Spider-Man, so I'm raging to not have him in my top 10. But yeah, Rey Mysterio, Hall of Famer for a reason. Number 10, I've gone Triple H. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of his booking when it comes to storylines, but I think of him like an on-screen character, like whether he's playing like the baddie as a wrestler or even like the kind of, let's say, the kind of baby face, he's either really, really cool or he's just absolutely merciless. But he could just play both so well. And then obviously, like even when he's in DX, he was actually just really funny also. But I don't know, I put a lot of this down too. I was mentioning Daniel Bryan earlier. His feud with Daniel Bryan as a member of as like more or less the leader of the Authority, like just as an evil kind of the boss is just holding the fan favorite down. He was just so good at it, and he was just just an evil bastard. Loved him. Yeah. So whether he's got long hair or bald hair, Triple H is Triple H, and I think he's just a class act. Partnering well with him at number 9, I've gone Shawn Michaels. Um, Again, arguably the greatest in-ring performer of all time. You could argue. I'm just pipping him to Triple H. It's very close, but I'm pipping him just. I think his storytelling was better. I think he was a character that you could relate to more, that you wanted to root for more. Like Triple H was an evil cunt, like the Reign of Terror and all that shit. Like he was a fucking household name. But don't get me wrong, so Shawn Michaels, he's one of the biggest names ever either. But I just thought he could grab the attention of that every man a bit more often. I think, as I say, I'm talking about that feud with Chris Jericho there. More importantly, like his feud with the Undertaker that ultimately led to his retirement before he came back and fucked everything up, obviously. But it was like the perfect retirement. But yeah, that lead up going into that about this man that was so desperate for redemption, desperate to kind of right his wrongs, and desperate to prove that he can beat him. It just made for wonderful storytelling. And yeah, on top of that, it was just an excellent, impeccable in-ring performer. So yeah, Shawn Michaels at number 9. Number 8, I have gone with The Undertaker. That's almost like 3 of the one era, just back to back to back there. Now yeah, I get it. You could argue that that's very high up and that he should be probably lower on the list. But you got to remember when I was watching, he wasn't like a week by week performer anymore. He kind of was like this spectacle at WrestleMania. Like he was just that Mania match. That's what he was. And don't get me wrong, that still came with a lot of aura and a lot of prestige. Like there was a time when the streak was a bigger thing than any championship at WrestleMania, to be honest with you. But yeah, I just think everyone that I put above him, I've just related more in a lot more like storytelling sense. Whereas Undertaker was just carried by just how fucking cool he was, to be honest with you, to leave him out. Um, yeah, as I say, I missed a lot of his earlier stuff, as I say, being born in '99. But yeah, from what I've watched, even at WrestleMania, like some of the best WrestleMania matches still include him, and that's him getting into like his older days. I think of the likes of CM Punk, obviously Shawn Michaels we've talked about, Triple H in that fucking Hell in a Cell, that just magnifique, fucking magnifique. The Undertaker, like it's, do I need to say anymore? 7, I've gone Edge. Now Adam Copeland in AEW. I hated this bastard growing up, so that I couldn't stand him. Especially because I'm a big John Cena fan, and like it was him that really was like John Cena's first like big major feud, and wow, that it worked wonders for both of them. You look back and you watch it now, and you just realize how brilliant Edge was. So good on the mic as well. I think I kind of be underestimated going toe to toe on the mic with somebody like John Cena, and Edge was well up for it. Um, And yeah, he was another person that could just play an evil, evil bastard. He thinks slapping John Michaels, I was going to say there, slapping John Cena's dad. And fucking obviously the Money in the Bank cash in, the first ever, so iconic. Once again on Cena. And yeah, when he did announce that he was injured in 2011, I was heartbroken. I was like, man, he's really really good. This is devastating. So when he returned a couple of years ago at the Royal Rumble, bro, what a moment! I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy that he gets to continue to do what he does because he clearly loves it. Even if it's not in our, even if it isn't in our promotion, like I'm devastated him and Cena didn't get that one last chance to cross paths before Cena walked out the door. Because I think there's an argument to be made that Edge is probably his greatest rival. I think there's an argument from like a storytelling standpoint anyway. Um, but yeah, I was just devastated they didn't get to cross paths. But yeah, again, pleased for him to be doing what he's doing and stuff. Fucking love Edge. Or Adam Copeland. Okay, this one's gonna piss a lot of people off. I've gone Roman Reigns at 6. Now you hear me out. Like everyone above him, I feel like I can genuinely justify. But let me just start off by saying, fucking unbelievable. Probably has his entrance probably has the most aura of anything I've ever seen. All right, let me just start by saying that. Like one of the best baddies I've ever seen. Like it was almost like the Godfather, the way he would treat his family, and then as a result of that, how he would treat random folk off the street. It was unbelievable. It was almost like this fucking, as I say, like the Godfather is like the head of this big fucking gang, and yet, but just such in an evil, maniacal way. He is excellent, but I also remember the big dog. I also remember the man that couldn't get over the trip over his words. And you know what? Credit to him for turning it round and making something unbelievably special. But I just resonate more with the people ahead of him. And I'm very sorry if I've offended you with that. Don't get me wrong, I still think he's absolutely amazing, one of the best they ever do it. But he just misses out in my personal top 5, okay? Do not hate me. He's still fantastic when he shows up into the top 5. And we've got Seth Rollins. I've said this from day one. From when the Shield were a thing, for me, Seth Rollins was always the best thing about it. The most interesting character, I thought. Sorry, Roman Reigns fans, but he's leaps and bounds better than him in ring. I think Roman's got better like in ring psychology, like the faces that he pulls and the expressions that he makes. But Seth Rollins, man, unbelievable, unbelievable. And as I say, I'm very appreciative of somebody that can keep reinventing himself, and he has done that so many times. You think of his time in the Shield, you think the fucking Kingslayer, the fucking Monday Night Messiah, you think, and now, well, obviously you had the fucking lunatic, fucking Joker-esque, ha ha ha, laughy bastard, and obviously the leader of the Vision now. Well, it was before he was kicked out just before I got injured, but yeah, the man's just the business through and through. The man just gets it. Um, to me, like today's Shawn Michaels, if that makes any kind of sense. Um, I just think he's brilliant, and I've always favoured him to Roman Reigns, which is funny because in storyline those two are like fucking Batman and Joker. So like again, I just prefer the Joker in this scenario. My deepest apologies. Okay, so yeah, Randy Orton. Okay, I can see why you might make a debate for Seth Rollins. Is anybody going to debate Randy Orton being ahead? Because I wouldn't. One of the best they ever do, arguably the best, on account of him always being there, always being available, never leaving for Hollywood like some others have, never leaving and throwing his toys out of the pram, like a few people above him have. Um, and yeah, like as I say, I was talking about how good of a baddie Roman Reigns was. Like, go back and watch 2009 Randy Orton. The cunt was evil. He was punt kicking everybody. He was RKOing women. He was unhinged. Yeah, he's the closest thing I've seen to a like a character like representing the devil. And it's so funny to watch now, like him being this like lovey, like yeah, we're all best mates. Well, let's do it for the fact when I know in the back of my mind how evil this bastard used to be. And I'm praying that it comes again and we can get him against Cody Rhodes finally. But yeah, um, I just can't deny his body of work. The long he's been doing it, the consistent he's been doing it at the top. I just want to see him back in the title picture again, and that'll be me happy. But yeah, he just misses out in the top 3. You know, I never thought I'd see the day where his prodigy fucking ranks above him in my opinions. But my third for me is Cody Rhodes. Um, I don't know. I hold a lot of like sentimental appreciation for Cody Rhodes because he's the one that got me back into wrestling when I came across his documentary by accident. Now I know he's a bit vanilla for a lot of people's liking, but I can never look at this man vanilla when I have seen him wrestle with a fucking purple chest, a torn pec, half his body hanging off, and not just wrestle a normal match, fucking Hell in a Cell, where they're battering each other with fucking sticks, tables, and for him to win, like he had no need to win. And he went and done that, and then yeah, the whole thing, like finishing the story and that, like I just really got behind him. I thought he was excellent, but even back when I watched it when it was a Wayne, I really liked his character work. I did see when he broke his nose and then he went had the whole undashing persona where he wore the mask and it was almost like this American Psycho-esque character where he's going out all deranged and he's putting paper bags on the audience members' heads. Man, I thought that was brilliant. I really thought they had something there. And then they had to turn him into a fucking walking gimp with the fucking face paint and the fucking gimp suit. But yeah, listen, he went away and he sorted himself out. And yeah, I love that man. I think he's absolutely excellent. Excellent. I know he's very take it or leave it, but I will die on the hill that he's sensational and he deserves to be where he is. Like he's worked his balls off to get where he is, and I have to respect that. Another man that's very take it or leave it, but also just a massive star, CM Punk. Again, probably the most controversial name. Well, maybe not the most controversial. There's definitely worse, but one of the most controversial in terms of like you either love him or you hate him. But man, he's just so fucking cool, and he always has been, and he's always had it, and he's just a great wrestler, sensational, and in my opinion, like one of the best on the mic. Can stand toe to toe with Cena, toe to toe with The Rock, and sometimes wipe the floor with him. I just think he's so good. I think he's got the complete package, except the fact where once upon a time he wasn't what they were looking for because he wasn't the right body type. Alleged, like apparently, but like, look at the man. All right, he's not the fucking beefiest fucking animal, but wow, what a talent! I love him to bits. Everything about him, his presentation, his mic work, his ability, stellar. He's so cool. Sorry, I can't stress enough how cool I find him. But yeah, number one, as I say, if you're watching the video yesterday, you already knew it's the GOAT, John Cena. I don't really have much more to say in that, apart from, like, you could probably tell with a lot of the names that I've listed there. I've all had, like, quite notable feuds with him, so it's probably why they're higher than maybe what you would rank them. The likes of your Edges, the likes of your, your Edges. But yeah, as I say, growing up, I idolized him, and in my adulthood, part of me still does. And I cost me an arm and a leg, but I was so pleased to see him in Dublin just before he retired, when he was passing by on his retirement there. And yeah, love him to bits, and on not even close, my favorite, my number one. But yeah, thank you for watching. I've definitely pissed a lot of people off with that, and people think I have no ball knowledge whatsoever. But trust me, this is just based on my opinions and what I enjoy. So I'm very sorry if I offended. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, as I say, feel free to like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh yeah, hello. Also, I do appreciate that that was all men. I will do a follow up video where I talk about the women. I just want to do like keep it so I could get as much like of the names that I like then as possible. But I will do a follow up where I show the women some love. Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.